Begin on a humorous note before we dive into this subject matter. This is a story of a very famous teacher whose name was Mullah Nasruddin. And Mullah Nasruddin's stories and anecdotes have traveled from Turkey, where he was originally born, all across the world. And you'll find many Nasruddin tales circulating even in Christian manuals, Jewish manuals for enlightenment, and so on and so forth, which speaks to, of course, the universality of the mystical journey, that it is one for all and all for one. So this story gives us a little insight into the nature of tonight's talk. So anyways, he was a married man. And his wife was was about to give birth. And in those days, they didn't have hospitals. You didn't get to rush off to a hospital. Everything was a home birth. And they had a midwife in there, and he was sitting in the waiting room, awaiting the baby with the midwife in the other room. So time passes, hour or two pass, and he, of course, was getting more and more anxious and more expecting. And so finally the midwife comes out, and with a big smile on her face and with a baby boy in her hands, and he says, "Congratulations, Mullah." Mullah means teacher, one who is a teacher. He says, "Congratulations, you have a baby boy." And he says, "Fantastic, fantastic." He's jumping up and down, and of course, very, very excited. But she takes the baby back and puts the baby in a crib and goes back into the room. And another 15 or 20 minutes pass by, and the midwife comes out again, and this time is carrying a baby girl and says, "Congratulations again, Mullah. You have a baby girl." And so this is also quite amazing. He wasn't expecting, and in those days they didn't have, ultrasound, so they didn't know how many were coming. So he's very, very excited and wishing upon his lucky stars how blessed he is. And of course, baby goes back with the midwife into the room, and another 20 minutes, a half an hour pass. And finally, the midwife comes out again, and this time brings out another baby girl. And Mullah looks around, doesn't say anything, runs into the room where his wife is giving birth. And in those days, of course, there were no lights, right? There were just candlelight. And he blows out all the candlelight. And the midwife is shocked and saying, "What are you doing?" He said, "We need that for the delivery." He says, "Whoever is seeing the light, they want to come out." So, reminds me of our predicament as human beings. So I thought that a way to understand this very simple tale, it obviously has its own humorous underpinnings on many levels, but, as a beginning point to interpret it, the irony is that we all are coming into the light, and we have actually come from the light, and we will return to the light. But in this sojourn here, while we are in this world, many of us are not in the light. We're in the darkness because we have not awakened to that divine light that is within us. And the humor is that if we do see that light, we will desire to come out of this, as many mystics have said, this prison house of the body that we have been locked into, so to speak, since the moment we were born. So it's an indication that we are on a spiritual journey, a journey of awakening that only gradually actually begins to dawn on us, certainly